2025 wasn't the best year, but the games were pretty good. One problem is that there were too many to keep track of, and I'm only one person, so I didn't finish a lot of the games I played last year. I'm going to rank the 2025 games I played but didn't finish. The criteria here is a little wonky. Many live service games these days don't have a definite end. Either they're unfinished or would never, under any circumstance, want you to think it's okay to stop playing them, but I will outline what I consider to be finishing the game when it comes to it. I did a video on Skate when it launched in early access last year, and my thoughts are largely the same. The gameplay is smooth as butter, and the challenges were lots of fun, and if it weren't for the horrendous characters and bland world, it'd probably be a good bit higher on this list.
Verified grindage. Get them on lock.
It's still in early access, and I don't think this game will ever have an ending, unless you consider the servers shutting down to be an ending, but I didn't finish all of the challenges that were available at the time, so it counts for this list. The bad voice acting and writing meant that simply skating around and finding my own spots was more enjoyable than completing the content that was there.
And you must be, wait a minute.
I was really enjoying my time with Bonanza, but I stopped roughly around the resort layer. The first few hours were a delight. The destruction mechanics and challenge rooms had me gorilla glued to my Switch 2 screen, but the longer the game went on, the less interested I was in continuing. The level design felt disjointed and dull, and the lack of real platforming was a pretty big letdown, considering how great it feels to move around in the game. The collectathon elements with the was cool at first, but pretty uneven. Some were doled out as rewards for challenge rooms or NPC interactions, but many others were just happened upon while excavating a mountain. It's a nice surprise when you get but when compared to something like the moons in Odyssey, the often lack a clear reason for being placed where they were. See how annoying it was to hear that many times? That's how I felt about 5 hours into the game. A lot of the level and character designs were just downright ugly, which to me is a cardinal sin for a game like this. I look forward to finishing the game, as I've heard it only gets better, but I was burnt out before too long. The Borderlands franchise is near and dear to my heart. I've played them virtually all my life and will probably play them until Randy Pitchford commits such a heinous social sin that Gearbox is forced to shut down forever.
Nobody much likes it when those Buddhists are always pacifying. One day they're just gonna fucking hit someone. Nobody likes.
Borderlands 4 delivered some marked improvements over 3, especially in the writing department.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.
And the open world had enough to do to justify its pretty massive size, but the set-piece moments and locations in 4 felt a bit lacking when compared to its predecessors. That being said, I only defeated 2 of the presumably 4 main story bosses, largely due to becoming out of sync story-wise with the group I started playing the game with. Regardless, I had a great time with what I played, and look forward to a future where Randy Pitchford no longer has a job.
Doop-a-doo.
Now, I know what you're going to say. How do you beat Mario Kart World? And to that I say, by 3-starring every Grand Prix. And boy was I close to doing that, if it wasn't for this one Grand Prix right here. I don't know why, say it's a skill issue, sure, it probably is, but I choose to believe the game is cursed, because I've spent more time on this Grand Prix than on all of the others combined. Disregarding that, I think this game is about as good as Mario Kart gets. It feels fantastic, looks amazing, and the music is better than ever. There's really only one thing bringing it down: the psychotic decision to have most 3-lap tracks consist of 2 laps driving through some highways to get to the real track, and then only doing that track once. No, Nintendo, I do not want to drive Toad's daily commute to his shift at Princess Peach's Stadium. I just want to drive around the stadium itself. Wee wee. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. There's not much to say about this game that hasn't been said already a million times. It won 9 awards at the Game Awards and has mopped up most GOTY lists for 2025. The first act and most of the second act are incredible. As for the rest, don't know because I didn't get that far. While I thoroughly enjoyed the combat, world, and characters, the plot never really grabbed me, and I blame that as to why I stopped playing, and definitely not my Slay the Spire addiction. Yep.
Okay,
We're
I'm gonna
lowering
I'm
down
gonna,
the
I'm
second
gonna grab
rope.
it for you.
Oh, a magic
Oh.
rope?
What is
Oh.
this? The
Lay it
cum
down,
rope?
lay it down, baby. Lay it down.
It's down. It's down.
No,
Oh,
it's
I
not.
dropped it.
Oh my god.
No way.
No.
There's no way. No way.
Here, hold on, wait.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh my
Second
god.
rope.
I thought it was a magic rope, man.
Oh, come on.
Wait, look up. There's a second rope.
Good thing there's a second rope.
I don't know if you make it.
Yeah,
Oh
he
no,
makes
you
it.
did.
It's like no stamina to rope. Oh. Oh, Eli!
Eli! This guy's the worst friend.
Peak. Rogue-like puzzle game? More like board-like what's his name, is what I thought before I played Blueprints. Every run of this game felt important. Even if I didn't beat it on that run, which was every run, because I never beat it, I felt myself getting closer and closer to solving its myriad of mysteries. Every puzzle I solved led to 3 more, making Blueprints very difficult to put down. The melancholic score, the haunting atmosphere, and the distinct visual design of the ever-changing manner your character inherits made Blueprints really stand out last year. Sadly, I got to a point where I knew the main thing left to do was actually beat the game, and whether it was just bad luck or lack of persistence, I never actually did it. And sadly, I don't know that it's a game I'll go back to, as my notes for the game look like hieroglyphics to me at this point in time. Arc Raiders is a game I've dreamt of since I was a child. It's a post-apocalyptic shooter where every choice you make truly matters, but not because of the game's narrative design, but rather the complexity of human interaction itself. You have to constantly stay on your toes if you want to extract with all the mouth-watering loot you picked up, but the threats you face aren't just the incredibly designed robots that stalk the barren fields and abandoned buildings you find yourself in, but it's also the other raiders with the same goal as yourself. To me, it's one of the best representations of surviving in the post-apocalypse, but not in a way that's overly immersive to the point of losing the fun. Expeditions in Arc Raiders are basically a way to reset your character after you've progressed so far that you've done everything there is to do. Had I completed the first expedition, I would have felt comfortable saying I beat the game, but I didn't. And it's largely due to the fact that the endgame challenges and rewards feel pretty meaningless. The fun is in the gameplay interactions, not in collecting 1,000 light bulbs or whatever it is you need. And aside from the expedition, there currently is no real endgame goal. I'm sure they'll continue to add new long-term goals to work towards, but until they do, I'm content with just playing at my own pace. Hades 2 is Hades on steroids. Literally every part of the second game is better than the first, which was already an incredible game. The variety of combat tools is hugely improved and the build crafting potential expanded, but the real improvements come in the enemy variety. Without spoiling anything, there is a lot you get to face off against in Hades 2, and in ways that keep it fresh from run to run. The permanent unlocks can feel a bit too necessary for getting further and further in the runs, detracting from the whole every run can be the one feeling that is so present in the roguelike genre, but many of those permanent rewards are so interesting, and rather than just strictly buffing your character permanently, they offer more and more variety as to how you can engage with the game. I only haven't beaten Hades 2 due to time, and I can't wait to do so soon. I hate Hollow Knight. I've tried to play that game at least 5 times from the beginning. I don't know if it's the map design, the pretty basic moveset in the beginning of the game, or the punishing nature of the Souls-like elements, but no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't get into it. So imagine my surprise when I had a completely opposite experience with Silksong. From the moment I picked this game up, I began to see the light. Hornet's combat, moveset, and movement abilities that don't take forever to unlock felt miles better than the Knight from the first game. I was still doubtful of the inclusion of Souls-like progression mechanics in this game, but the further the game went on, it felt very in place with what the game is trying to accomplish. The game wants you to be scared to venture out, as the tension that builds is what makes progress so much more rewarding. Silksong also offers a number of ways to ease the pain of losing your rosaries, which is nice. After I came to accept and even enjoy these mechanics and differences from the first game, I was left to enjoy the incredible boss design, abilities, and world that Silksong offers. I'm only slightly past Act 1, but this is a very common pattern I've found myself in with Souls-likes. I play about halfway through, drop it for a year, and come back when I need to scratch that itch again. And I'm very excited to do that with Silksong. And there's my list. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far, and I want to reiterate that these opinions cannot really be applied to these games as a whole. As for most, I didn't get far enough to give my full opinion. Please like, subscribe, and watch some of our other videos. Till next time.